May 4th, Cinco de Mayo weekend, we have super middleweight champion Canelo Alvarez versus Jaime Mungia. Definitely not the fight that us boxing fans want, but it's definitely the fight that we're going to get. Starting off with Canelo Alvarez, really needing no introduction, has fought a who's who in his 64 fight career and still is only 33 years old. Canelo already being a legend in the boxing game, but I do feel like there's only one piece of the puzzle really missing, and that's David Benavidez. But I guess that's for a whole nother video. Canelo really known for that come forward pressure style fighting with fast hands, good power, reflexes, and sharp counter punching. And even though I feel Canelo has really gotten away from his slick defense that we were able to see against Alfredo Angulo, as well as Danny Jacobs, he still really has some of the best head movement in the game, as well as high guard defense. Canelo captured all the titles at super middleweight in a year's time. He damn near broke Callum Smith's arm for the WBA as well as vacant WBC belt in December of 2020. He broke Billy Joe Saunders' eye socket in May of 2021 for the WBO title. And in November of 2021, he fought Caleb Plant for the super middleweight undisputed crown. Caleb Plant having a similar style to Floyd Mayweather Jr. And in that fight, we were able to see some of Canelo's struggles with boxers with good movement as well as hand speed. But his pressure would eventually get to Caleb Plant, and he was able to get him out of there in the 11th round with a heavy left hook. But in Canelo's next fight in May of 2022 against Dimitri Bivol at light heavyweight, we were really able to see some of his flaws. Canelo really fell in love with that power at 168 and tried to bring that same style to 175, and he really paid for it. He was really able to walk down Dimitri Bivol in the first half of the fight, really targeting Dimitri Bivol's left arm as he did with Callum Smith. But as the fight wore on, Canelo really showed his stamina issues on the second half of fights and would have trouble dealing with Bivol's in and out boxing style with the jab as well as feints. And he wasn't able to establish his distance as well as timing, struggling with Bivol's movement and ultimately losing by decision. And in his next 3 fights, he would still go back to that plotting come forward style and defend his super middleweight crown against Triple G and like opponent in John Ryder and Jermall Charlo, who came up from 154 to 168. But overall, I feel it's really hard to gauge where Canelo is at in his career right now with that most recent fight against a fighter who came up from 154 to 168. But I feel only time will tell with this next fight. Now on to Jaime Mungia, who has a come forward style and quote unquote the Mexican style of fighting. He definitely has nowhere near the resume of Canelo with the 43-0 record and only his second fight at super middleweight. But he definitely comes into all of his fights with bad intention, volume punching and really heavy combinations. Always willing to throw caution to the wind, no matter who's in front of him. In his fight against Sergey Derevyanchenko, we were able to see both his strengths as well as weaknesses. From the beginning bell, we were able to see Jaime Mungia's heavy volume punching, but we were able to see those defensive flaws that he has as well, where Mungia has shown that he's able to be countered in between punches. But throughout the whole fight, we were able to see both guys really show their heart and will. And coming into the 12th round, the fight really could have gone either way. And halfway through the 12th round, Mungia was able to land a heavy left hook to the body to drop Derevyanchenko. And Mungia was ultimately able to win by decision because of that knockdown. And in January of 2024, with most recent opponent in John Ryder, who also faced Canelo, he showed that his heavy volume punching as well as combinations was too much for John Ryder, knocking Ryder down twice in the 9th to get Ryder out of there. And this TKO against Ryder is something that Canelo couldn't do. And what I feel is really the only reason that he's even able to get this fight against Canelo. Now, after breaking down both fighters, I'm going to give you guys some of my own X factors on what I think both fighters need to do to win this fight. Starting off with Canelo, I feel like he really needs to use his counter-punching skills and go back to that slick self of his and really set up that counter-punch for Mungia to come in, because I feel regardless, Mungia got one style where he's going to come forward and press. So I feel like it's right there for the taking for Canelo for that counterpunch, whether it's a left hook to the body, left hook up top, or even an overhand right, the same one that he caught Jermall Charlo with. And as for Jaime Mungia, I feel he needs to pick his spots to throw those heavy volume punches as well as combinations, because I feel if Jaime Mungia just comes straight at Canelo with those heavy volume punches, it's only a matter of time until he gets countered because of his defensive flaws. Now on to prediction time. I have this fight 70-30 in favor of Canelo, just based off of Canelo's resume as well as experience. It looks like a wash on paper, but I could also see a barn burner fight with Jaime Mungia's style coming straight at Canelo and just throwing caution to the wind, like I said previously. But Canelo's come forward style has really kept a lot of fighters' hands in their pockets, so to say, because in the past, Canelo's counterpunching has been really superior and really sharp. And as of late, a lot of guys haven't been willing to throw, knowing that those sharp counterpunches are going to be coming right back at them. But I feel like it's a real good prelude fight in case we do get that David Benavidez fight in September. But like I said in the beginning, man, that's for a whole nother video. You guys go ahead and let me know down in the comments who you guys got winning this one. Until next time.